Right, so that's supposed to start off by taking on Inter Milan here in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, in which we scored a goal to make it 1-0, but we then conceded a strange goal here, giving away a penalty due to a handball outside the box by James Trafford there, in which Lautaro Martinez did convert the penalty, despite me dabbing the correct way and should have saved it. But as you can see here, we then scored again to make it 2-1, in which Inter then equalised later in the game here. It was saved again by Trafford, but then it fell straight to Lautaro Martinez, and luckily for us though, they give away a penalty later on with Bissek taking down his fellow compatriot in Adeyemi there to give away the penalty, in which Oyhansen set buried it for us. This is advanced into the semi-finals of the Champions League, and as you still we do take on a team after this one, but then took on Chelsea in the semi-finals of the FA Cup here with our second team and picked up a pretty convincing victory up against them. 2-0 you can see them. We took on PSG in the semi-finals of the Champions League to try and get into the final for today's episode, in which we completely destroyed the team that won it IRL. Let's get into the series finale. And to kick off this series finale, we're going to take on Brighton here in the FA Cup final, with our second team are going to be playing this one. Also, we have 2 games left of this season to wrap up the Premier League title. We are currently 6 points clear of Arsenal, as you can see. So if we win one game and Arsenal lose their game or draw it, we are guaranteed champions back-to-back in the Premier League, as well as we also have won back-to-back Carabao Cups. We could win back-to-back FA Cups. Most importantly, to end the episode, we're going to be taking on Manchester City here in the Champions League final, in which we are hopefully going to be winning the Champions League. Obviously, last season we did win the Europa League, so this season we're looking to go one step further and win the Champions League. Let's get into the game against Brighton in the FA Cup and hopefully win this trophy back-to-back and with our second team like we did last season. And obviously here is our second team that's going to be playing this game. Let's get into this one with our 2 youth academy talents that have been big players in for us this season. Obviously Johnson winning this Carabao Cup with his long shot against Middlesbrough, against Sunderland, sorry. This season lift that trophy. Let's get into this one and hopefully one of these can be the hero to see us lift the FA Cup. Let's get into this one and hopefully win back-to-back FA Cup titles. Now Brighton on the attack here with Kulamawani trying to go through against Milinkovic, who does well there. And so does Morata to find Nico Williams. Constantinias, good turn left from the Greek midfielder. In here to Louis Slater. Louis Slater looking for Oscarson here. Can take it and hit it across goal and flattens the back of the net. Louis Slater with the assist and Oscarson with the goal, but take no credit away from our defenders who own the opportunity for us. So winning the ball back off Kulamawani was Milenkovic, who then gave the ball to Morata, who found a way out, gave it to Neco Williams, who played it forward into Slater. Well, Constantinias, sorry, then into Slater, I believe it was. And Oscarson there, across goal, well driven into the far corner. A great finish from him, a great pass from Slater, who gets the assist. And the Iceman up front, Ori Oscarson, makes it 1-0. Constantinias now. Good move here from him. Constantinias still going here to Slater. Slater now, good move there from him. And turn back there, get it into Oscarson, but he turned it into the defender. I didn't want him to do that. Kulamawani. Intercepted by Dominguez. That's going to be given away though by Neco Williams against Solly March. This is a good steal there from Neco Williams, but he can't keep it in place. It could be a throw for them. Brighton have had a spell of possession in this game. Here is Matoma. Matoma shoots and thankfully the woodwork denies Matoma there from making it level. He probably should have scored. That's a big miss there from him. Johnson. Constantinias. Going through here. Constantinias to make it 2-0. And Constantinias has done so. Just after Matoma hit the post at the other end for Brighton. We get a 2-goal lead in this game at Wembley here. Courtesy of the great talent Constantinias. He's been such a great player for us in this crew, and he's behind. Alder Gulen was behind Gibbs White last season, so he's not managed to get into the first team, but if he did get into the first team, he would be a great player for us. He's shown that many times at our second team that he is ready to be a first team player, but he's just got a better player ahead of him for the past 2 seasons. But he makes it 2-0 here. And it will be kind of weird for him to score against Brighton, considering they have the white and blue kit. So that is the colour of the Greek flag. So it will kind of feel like he's playing against Greece when he looks at that kit, but obviously he knows he's playing against Brighton. As Richards, it could get worse for Brighton here, as they could be on for a collapse. That's a bad challenge there from behind. And Richards could be injured from that one. It's going to be a red card for Brighton. I kind of wish the play was, let to go. And it's a red card for Matoma, who's crashed out in this game. He hit the post And has now put a unnecessary, just cynical and awful challenge there on Richards. It was nowhere near getting a ball. The ball was literally left his feet by the time the challenge. Not sure what the referee or the manager of Brighton's arguing with the fourth official there, because there's no reason for him not to be sent off there. The second up begins, and this is going to be damage limitations for Brighton, but it could be even worse for them here as the shot there goes in their post. I was hoping that would go far corner there. In this game, it's going to be a massive loss for them, as it's great defending there from Morato. Now Luis Slater. Constantelias. Good turn there from him. Still going here is Constantelias. Can lead it into Johnson, but there is Igor, the Brazilian, stopping him. That's going to be one back there by Constantelias. He gives it here to Neco Williams. He can play it up here looking for Johnson on the acrobatic attempt. That's Karamawani. Here into O'Reilly. O'Reilly hits it, blocked by Milenkovic. Back here to Ruta. But that is good defending there from Morato. It's a fairly end-to-end game right now. Obviously, we are with a 2-goal lead in this one, so it's more in our favour. Here comes Karamawani. Matt Sills possibly a big save needed from here, but he didn't make it. And Karamawani just made this game interesting. They're now back in this one, 2-1 here. And yeah, this one's going to be an interesting end. I felt like we should have defended this one. I should have gone for the slide challenge there, but I thought Matt Sills was going to get there before Milenkovic, but that wasn't the case. And unfortunately for us, we are now only 1 goal ahead in this game, and they could get a second straight from kickoff there, but Morato, great defending. And now we need to get another goal in this one. Sills there. Now Nico Williams, good turn from there for him. Looking for Slater. Slater takes it in behind. A control from here from him. Luis Slater. Back here to Neco Williams. Dominguez. Constantelias. Oh, there's Fresneda. Great defending from him. Honestly, he has been so good at right back for them. Solly March. And Neco Williams, I thought was going to get the ball there, but he's not done so. Oh, no. Karamawani. It's 2-2. No, it's Jorginho Ruta, sorry, that scored the goal. I thought Karamawani was going to be in the centre there, but it's Jorginho Ruta. We saw put Brighton back level in this game. And this is something that I did not expect. Matt Sills should be saving that one. And it might be time for us to bring in our best players. It's Dominguez as well. Richards. There's Johnson here. Could be the hero like he was in the Carabao Cup for us. He does well. It falls to Oscarson. And that is the lead reinstated. We got a little bit fortunate there. David Sarai did get a touch on the ball, but it fell to Oscarson, who puts it into the back of the net in there with a tap in on an open goal. But obviously, if it wasn't for the Spaniard getting a touch, I would have played that across to him anyway with Johnson, so it would have been a goal either way. But I can see right here, he gets a slight touch, which works out for us there. And Oscarson ain't going to miss from there. An open goal for him. And he puts us back in the leader in this game here. And Mayer just won us the FA Cup. Yeah, maybe find him. He's on for a hat-trick, but he's going to be unselfish. Get the ball to Johnson, whose shot needed to be a bit more power behind it, but the ball was kind of underneath his feet. But it doesn't matter in the end. It's a 3-2 victory. And we have won back-to-back FA Cups. Let's cut to the trophy lift and see Danilo lift the FA Cup. Brighton had a late comeback in this game where it wasn't enough. And thankfully Oscarson was there to give us a win. And while it was a little bit shaky towards the end, where Brighton with that, well, no, 2 goals that they did score down to 10 men, but thankfully for us, we won the game, and we now won every single final we're taking part in. That's 2 FA Cup victories, 2 Carabao Cup victories, the Super Cup and the Community Shield, as well as the Europa League. So that's along with the Premier League, 9 trophies now won for us. 8 trophies won for us, I believe, in this series so far. And they could be 9 or 10 overall if we do win the Premier League again this season, which I think we will do so. And then the Champions League, which we'll play here in a few moments' time. We need to wrap up the Premier League first of all, though. But our second team win the FA Cup. They deserve this win. They've been a great team for us. And well, it was a tense final towards the end. Credit to Brighton for coming back into this game, but we deserve to win. And we are once again crowned champions of the FA Cup. And our second team get back-to-back victories over Brighton. This time they win the Premier League, win it with a 3-1 victory for Oscar and Jota Silva, and also Constantinias scoring in this one. This season is officially be crowned champions of the Premier League. I believe we should get the title celebrations in our next game at home against Everton, which we're all going to play this season, lift the Premier League trophy, and then after that we're going to get into the Champions League final to hopefully beat Man City to win the crowning jewel on all the trophies we have won throughout the 2 seasons here at Nottingham Forest. And like I said, the league title has been wrapped up. We're 6 points clear of Arsenal in second place. And while this game against Everton should be a fairly easy walking apart, they're 15th in the table, safe from relegation, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they are. It's going to be Fulham who are going to be going down this season unless they do win their final game on Ipswich, lose or don't draw. They could possibly be going down. Let's get into this one though against Everton and hopefully have a good end of the season here in the Premier. It's going to be a game at home, so we are going to get the trophy lift in this one. Let's get into it and hopefully see what our team win back-to-back Premier League titles and win, I believe, our 9th trophy in this series. And not by second, we've won obviously the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Europa League last season. We've won the Super Cup and the Community Shield this season, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and this would be our 9th trophy, with the Champions League being our 10th trophy, which is insane. To win 10 trophies in 2 seasons would be insane, and let's hopefully go 9 for 9 and win this one here. Even if Everton do some beaters, we are going to be champions. That's a great move there, but Sunset, that touch there, that took him away from goal. I didn't want him to do that. So we did do an Everton series last year on SC24. There's Adeyemi here. That's a good ball by Alanga, looking for Adeyemi. That's going to be headed clear by Ashley Young as Adeyemi here. And he Basil kick from range there. I didn't expect that to actually work out, but it's wide to the post, but I didn't expect that to even be a chance. I thought the defender was going to get it clear, but somehow he managed to get a connection, and it wasn't that far away from the goal considering the situation he was in. Alcaraz is obviously just joined Everton now, but here's Eric Kaibi, and it's 1-0 Everton. That is something that I did not expect. They take the lead in this game, and we need to lock in because we need to win this game. Because if we lose this game going into the Champions League final, then it's going to be a big sign that we maybe not be ready to lift that trophy. But obviously we know we are ready to win that trophy, but it will kind of give us a little bit of doubt going into it. So we need to win this game against Everton and go into the game with our best players fully confident. So here's Sunset. Go move here from the Spaniard. Ball here to Adeyemi. Lovely pass here into Sunset. He can shoot, but it's going to forward to Alanga, who shoots, and it's 1-1. Get the ball, actually. We're not going to celebrate until we are leading this game, as Anthony Alanga puts us back level. He's had a fairly quiet season, like I mentioned last episode, but in the past 2 episodes, he's kind of stepped back up in terms of the goal scoring. That's all that matters. As long as he performs in this episode, and like he did the last one as well, and helps us win trophies, it won't matter that he's not had the best season, but he's not had a bad season. It's just not been as influential as last season, to be honest, but he's still been pretty good for us. So we're playing a different system in a way this season with Sunset up front instead of Chris Wood, so it's been less of getting assists for him with Chris Wood up front and more about linking up play with Sunset, who sends Alanga through here. And like I mentioned, Alanga is stepping up in the final few games of the season. It's hit the post, but it's still going into the back of the net though. And it's 2 goals in quick succession for the former Man United winger Anthony Alanga here, who makes it 2-1 here. Gritty's at the City ground in front of the Everton supporters. You love to see it. And puts us back in the lead. Well, not back in the lead. Puts us in the lead in this game for the first time. So we were trading at one point, but we are now in the lead. Obviously, it's a great play there. Like I mentioned, the link-up play between him and Sunset is what we've been looking for, and it worked out there for us. There's Alanga there, in off the post, and we're now back. Well, I keep saying back in the lead. We are in the lead in this game, and now have a 1-goal cushion. And we need to add. We need 2 or 3 goals in this game to be comfortable. Because I feel like Everton are still going to possibly get 1 or 2 goals in this game, as their striker's gone off due to an injury, and O'Brien. So defensively they are pretty good. It's good defending from Diamande, and we are eventually going to get the ball there. I thought LDKB went off. I thought he said that he went off due to injury, but he's still on the pitch. Interesting. He may have said that he was injured. Referee, you can't call it there, referee. You can't call it there. Not got to Pavlovich. James Garner here forward into their striker. And the referee might give it a free kick to them for what just happened there. I'm not too sure about that one. So played it short. As Garner here takes it into the box. It's done well there, but it's going to be blocked, and that's going to be a good save there from Trafford. Good defending there from Murillo there to stop Everton getting forward. Now Murillo, our centre back, can carry it forward for us. And play it here into Oyhan. Sanset gives us a 2-goal lead in this game. On the 66-minute mark, Oyhan Sanset gives us a 2-goal lead, like I mentioned. And Murillo there. But great work there for him to not only get the ball, but get the assist for Sunset. Obviously, Langa's on for a hat-trick in this game, so hopefully he can have his moment. We're going to take off Adeyemi, bring on Hudson-Odoi here in a second, I think, and concentrate on all the good. Just to rest a few players heading into the Champions League final. Dwight Manil. James Garner from range. Trafford, good save. How did they have the ball? Trafford, big save needed from you. It's been chipped, and it's going to go off the post and cleared. Constantinias. Elanga here for the hat-trick. Can he get it here? Elanga for the hat-trick. O'Brien stops him. Can drive with the ball. Can be unselfish here. Get it into Sunset. You can turn. And you know, Constantinias just for that shot from him there. Vanja, good save from him, no. But it's a 3-1 victory. And we are back-to-back Premier League champions. It's close to the trophy lift like we did with the FA Cup. And then get into the Champions League final after this trophy lift here. And well, here we are. Here is the trophy lift like I expected. Obviously, the final home game of the season. We get given the trophy lift there with Elliot Anderson stepping up to lift the Premier League trophy. It was Gibbs White last season who lifted this trophy. So he moved to Man City, so we possibly will face him in the Champions League final. So that'll be a big game up against him. But much deserved second Premier League win in a row for us here, as Elliot Anderson lifts another trophy for us. And could also be the Champions League in a few moments' time. Let's get into the Champions League final against Man City, and hopefully win the crowning jewel, like I mentioned. On the 9 trophies we've won so far, can we make it 10 in 2 seasons? That would be insane. Let's get into the Champions League final. Alright, so here is the Manchester City team we're going to be taking on here in the final of the Champions League. As you can see, it's pretty much an unchanged team other than the defence, with the likes of Teo Hernandez joining in, Marquinhos and Eder Militao, and Mike Maignan being the new first-team goalkeeper. Let's get into this game and hopefully beat this incredible Man City team to win the Champions League trophy the 3rd time in Nottingham Forest history. With the likes of some Saudi teams interested, PSG, Barcelona, and obviously Bayern Munich also a bit of a team interested in him. There's now Adeyemi. Goes back here, but that's going to be good defending from Yan Couto. And Harden gives the ball away to Gutierrez. Now, we have got a better Man City. Pretty much everything we've faced them, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think we've lost to them in this series. I think we might have drew to them once, but we might have beaten them. I'm not too sure. Here's Arda Güler. And by what I mean by beating them, I think we might have beaten them every time we faced them. But obviously, this is the most important occasion. And says Oyhan Sunset flicks it in behind. But the finish left everything to be desired there. So we've already seen a record in this episode for, in the last episode for Basic, as Harden goes through and scores. We go 1-0 down. Not for the first time in this episode. We obviously just went 1-0 down against Everton and we came back to win the game. But obviously that was Everton, this is Man City in the Champions League final. And Haaland scores. He rarely scores against me in career mode, but he scores there in this season finale. So if we don't win this, or the series finale I should say, if we don't win this, then we probably have to do one more season. As Elanga here. Trying to get out Teo Hernandez. He does well there, ball into Sunset, but Marquinhos apparently hasn't fouled him there somehow, even though, you know, he's like elbowed him and pushed him and everything there to get the ball. There's Jerome Doku. As Doku's still going to Belgium. Here's Eddie Anderson, the captain, the man who will be lifting the trophy if we do win it here today. And here's Elanga, the former Manchester United man, into Sunset. And Sunset does well. Sunset's still going here, but there is Rodri. Sunset back into Adeyemi, but that's not a free kick either for Militao. Interesting that this referee's letting stuff go. That probably should be a free kick. And Adeyemi's been injured from that, so that's not good for us. Jean Couto. Now when Spacer hits Adeyemi. And Adeyemi as well. Adeyemi here. Opportunity maybe here, but Yan Couto is apparently the best right back in the world. Trying to just poke away through here. Adeyemi is off it to Odeguda, who shoots, but it's blocked. Comes back to Adeyemi, but Yan Couto's there again. And apparently Adeyemi was offside there when it fell back to him. On Murillo there, lad. You've got to just react to that. Fan free hard and pass that for some reason. Here's Alanga. Back here to Odeguda. Odeguda here into Sunset. Back to Alanga here. Odeguda before half time hits it from range. Odeguda strikes the post and it finds the back of the net. And that's a massive goal from one of the biggest talents in world football. He'll be signed to replace Morgan Gibbs White, who's not in the team for Man City. He's probably on the bench for them, but he hasn't started in this game. It brought in Odeguda to replace Gibbs White, and this goal would have been worth everything if we're going to win this trophy. And that's a great finisher from Odeguda. Obviously, we know how good he is at long-range shots at IRL. We've seen it already in this series as well. And Odeguda scores a massive goal there for us to put us back level just before the half-time break. Start the second half off. Can we get a quick goal here to go 2-1 up? Marquinhos there intercepts. It's Doku again, trying to get past Ola Aina, but he's not letting him do so since he's woken up since the first opportunity that he did do. Back into Mateo Kovacic. Bernardo Silva denied there by Eddie Anderson. Nalanga here with a bit of trickery, but Teo Hernandez is there. There should be a free kick. Referee again is letting this go. I'm kind of liking this ref, not going to lie. He's letting stuff go that should be free kicks, but I've got a feeling that the second I do something that could be a free kick, he's going to give a straight free kick to City. Oh, a bit too much on that. Marquinhos is there anyway. And Couto being pressed there by Alanga and Adeyemi. This worked out for us. Adeyemi steals it. And Adeyemi sends the defender the wrong way. Adeyemi now. So I find a bit of room here for a shot or a pass, but there's not really anything. Go back to Pavlovic. Odeguda. They're pressing him this time. As Alanga's found a bit of space with Teo Hernandez. We need to go at Yan Couto, but again, Yan Couto in this game is just insane at defending for some reason. So he's not a bad defender at IRL, but he's more of an attacking player. Here's Ola Aina. Ball into the box, they're looking for Sunset. Sunset, can he hit it? He does so between the legs of Mike Magnon. And we take a 2-1 lead in this game. From 1-0 down to 2-1 up. It's been a great fight in this game from us. We've shored up defensively. In the first half, we were poor defensively, I will say. They got their goal because we weren't the best defensively. But Ola Aina in the second half, since he gave away that opportunity to Doku, he's been much better. And Sunset makes it 2-1. But we need to hold on to this lead as they now bring on, I believe, Savinho. Odeguda, a lovely turn there from him. And here is Karim Adeyemi. Adeyemi. No free kick for us. I thought that was handball against City there. No, Haaland. Erling Haaland. Can't let him shoot. He shoots, but it's wide of the post. I think if that was on target, we would have blocked it with Diamande, but that was too close to comfort as Grealish now comes on for them. A play that I was positive, we could have signed in this series. I wouldn't have been against it, but it didn't really work out for us. We didn't need him. Diamande does enough there to kind of stop him, but he still has the ball. Haaland hits it from range, and it's wide of the post again. No. Let's hold the ball here. This is terrifying. Wrong error. And it could be over. And there we go. It's a 2-1 victory. It was a hard-fought victory. And I love that, honestly. I like that we had a Champions League final for once in one of our careers. That wasn't easy. Usually Champions League finals are the easiest game of a career for some reason. You know, playing Brighton or not Brighton, playing at Ipswich or bottom of the table on like a random game week will be the hardest game you face. But a team in the Champions League final will usually be the easiest you face. But here Man City gave us the challenge. And on another day, possibly could have won it. If Haaland was more clinical with his finishing, he would have put it level and made this game interesting. But in the end, courtesy of two great goals, that long shot from Odeguda before half time, on literally a buzzer beater in terms of basketball terminology, sees us go level, and then a goal from Oyhan Sunset that put us ahead. And Eddie Anderson, the captain of the team, the youth academy talent, came from our academy if I'm not mistaken. is going to lift Nottingham Forest's third European trophy and their third Champions League. And obviously we're going to sim to November to find out if any other players can win the Ballon d'Or after this trophy celebration. We're going to look into the stats after this as well. And we're going to see if any of our players can end this series off on a high and win a Ballon d'Or. But what a moment this is. And we're looking at the stats of the players. We've got 2 players who are, well, possibly Ballon d'Or winners. One of them is Oyhansen said he did score in the final. The other is Karim Adeyemi with 25 goals and 10 assists. Obviously, they've got the same goal involvements with Adeyemi getting 1 more assist and Sensei getting 1 more goal. You see, Jota Silva had a great season in the second team. Alanga, like I said, not a bad season. It's just he kind of stepped up towards the end of the season and started scoring more goals, which was to see 15 and 5 from him. 15 and 9, sorry. Constantelias 11 and 5. Oscarson 7 and 3. Hudson Dorsey played less games than he did last season, a bunch less games. And Ordegula 4 and 7. He didn't get many assists or goals, but he scored when we needed him. You know what I mean? He scored when we needed him. That's all that matters. He performed when we needed him. And obviously that goal in the Champions League final was more than worth the money we paid for him to bring him from Real Madrid. Luis Slater 4 and 2. Love that from him. And we'll sim to November and see if either Karim Adeyemi or Sunset will win the Ballon d'Or. And I do believe that Sunset should be the guy that wins it because he did score in the Champions League final and he's been such a great player for us all season long. Obviously, same with Adeyemi. But in my opinion, if I had to choose, I would give it to Sunset. Let's sim to November and all the way to the Ballon d'Or ceremony. And well, as you can see, we have been robbed of a Ballon d'Or winning season because Haaland has somehow won it, even though they lost the UCL final. Yes, he did score, but I doubt he had the same amount of goal involvements as Sunset. Obviously, Sunset had like, what, 30 plus, like nearly 40 goal involvements this season. I think it's 35 goal involvements, right? But Haaland's won the Ballon d'Or, so we've been robbed of a Ballon d'Or winning, opportunity, but it is what it is. Let's just have a last look at the squad here, and we'll just do the outro here instead then. Let's go to the outro whilst looking at the Ballon d'Or ceremony, but we'll do it here. And what a credit this was, obviously we won 10 trophies in this whole series, so we won every trophy possible in the 2 seasons in the series, which is insane to think about when you think about it. It's insane that we won everything we could have won. But this team was incredible. I recommend you try all of these players in your team, especially that the players like Eddie Anderson. He's such an underrated player. Same with like Pavlovic. I mean, he's kind of rated fairly well. Trafford in goal, incredible goalkeeper. He was an 82 rated for us in this whole series, but for some reason he was like the best goalkeeper I've used. Honestly, he's been incredible. Some of Matt Solzy was pretty good as well, and especially some of the bench players as well. Like Hudson-Odoi is fairly good in game as well. Oscarson, Jota Silva is fairly underrated as well. The likes of Danilo is great. Constantelias is great. Nico Williams is great. Morato is a pretty good player, and Richards, even an RTG, could be a very, very good fullback for you in your team. But yeah, check out these players in your Chroma, sign them and see how they do. But that's going to call it for this one. The next series could be with Man United, as you guys in the comments down below want to see me redo a Man United series. Obviously, I was doing one at the start of the year, but obviously that then got corrupted due to an issue with the Chroma save files at the time. So I had to delete that and do a different Chroma instead. So it could be returning to Man United and taking over them with their new signings. That could be a next series. I also want to do maybe a Roma or Napoli series as well before SC26 comes out. So that could be next up as well. But thank you for watching. Drop in the comments down below what series you want to see next. Like and subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.